Hi folks, Lou here, and I'm going to talk about avatars and war games. This is one that's specifically about war games, so if you don't care about war games, you can give up. Few war games include avatars. Now, an avatar, and I think a pure avatar, is some piece that's at risk. That is, if you lose the avatar, you lose the game. And yet the avatar has some advantage other than just being the avatar, so it can provide, for example, a morale boost. So in a battle of some sort, this represents the leader. And it's puzzling that so few games do this because, at least in ancient and medieval battles, if an army lost its leader, very commonly, not always, the morale would break, the army would break, and they would lose the battle. Second in command just didn't amount to much, and I think I've talked about that somewhere else, or I will. So even the rumor of loss can lead to an army routing. William the Bastard at Hastings had a couple of horses killed under him, and he had to get back on another horse and show himself to convince people that he was still alive before they broke. Now, I've experimented with having a pure avatar in a science fiction game, and I really like the results. My game where this particularly works well is a case of siblings competing to succeed a father king who dies in mysterious circumstances. And the trick here is that the prince is able to provide a morale bonus. So you can choose not to have your prince participate, but your side will be more effective if the prince is there. And yet if the prince is killed, you lose. You're done. Now in my Hastings 1066, which is still in print from Worthington Publishing, Harold Godwinson and William the Bastard provide a big morale bonus and a big penalty if they die. You can win if your leader has died, but it's quite difficult. It's not quite an at-risk avatar, but it's close. I suspect that one reason why people don't like the pure avatars, at least in historical games, is they don't want to have the game turn on what can be chance that the leader dies. And yet, I know there's one game, Warriors of God maybe? It's medieval France. You roll each turn to see if each of your leaders dies. But that's not in the midst of a battle. That's just because of the mortality of medieval times. So we see that kind of thing where it's not a avatar, but losing that character, losing that general, losing that leader is a bad thing for your side, and it all depends on a dice roll. Of course, some people really don't like chance in games, and some people like a lot of chaos and chance. And so it depends on who you're designing the game for. Thanks for listening.